Today we're going to have a look at our incubator with automatic egg turner. And if you look here, this is the incubator itself. It's approximately 2.5 feet long by about 18 inches by 18 inches. First thing you'll notice here, we've got a nice big pane for viewing in at the side. I'll show you there so we can see right in the side here, and we've got a pane in the top so you can see right in the top. The other thing is these are double glazed panes, so you can see there's glass on the outside, but there's also glass on the inside that'll keep the insulation a lot better. Now, unlike a lot of other incubators, this incubator is controlled by the new Incubator DC10. This is DC12, the new Incubator, and what this does, it allows you, we've only just switched it on now, look, as you can see the temperature is climbing now, 74.7, 74.8. This is a great little kit because it's adjustable. It has forced air. We've cut a hole out here, and then this unit is mounted to a plastic piece of perspex, which is mounted on the inside, which we'll show you in a moment. But the reason this is such a good little bit of kit is because you don't need light bulbs, things like that, and it's adjustable, so it can be used for chicken eggs and reptile eggs. Obviously for reptile eggs you wouldn't need the automatic turner, but today we're going to be using this for our chicken eggs. If I open it up now, underneath you'll see there's a little fan here which is spinning around at the moment. It's on a little circuit board, and underneath you got 4 heat capacitors, and that's what provides the heat. This unit is capable of heating all of this up to 99.5, and in fact it's that good at maintaining that heat over a 24-hour period. It only dropped to 99.4, and the maximum temperature was 99.6, so it kept it within 0.2 of a degree over a 24-hour period, so that's superb for incubating. The next step we have is the automatic egg turner. We have a tray here which we have half-inch wide slats here, and they have a 1/4 inch gap, so it's ideal for chicks to walk around on without them putting their legs through. This creates about a 2-inch gap underneath that we can put trays of water. And what we're going to do when we get a tray that's actually big enough to fit, because we've got 2 compartments, one here and one here, we're going to run a little airline tube into the tray from outside that we can connect up a fairy liquid bottle or something to top up from outside, so we'll never have to open this incubator once the eggs are set. Here's the mechanism here for that will move the eggs, and it's controlled on a little cam. I'll show you that in a moment, and a little 1 RPM motor. If you can get a half RPM motor, that's great, but this 1 RPM motor only cost us I think it was £3.25 with postage, so it was ideal. Like the half an RPM motor, which would be better for you, and I'll explain the reasons why in a moment, was costing around £60, but if you were able to get one second hand or something like that, that would be perfect. We built a little mounting plate here. Okay, the cables go through and come out the back here, and on here we have again a piece of ply for strength, and we've just covered it over just to hide any screw heads, things like that. Basically the process on here is we have a little cam here, and the incubator turns on. This particular one turns on for 30 seconds, which moves the tray right away across, and then moves the tray back, and we'll show you that working now in a moment. In fact, what I will do, I'll get a couple of eggs and put them in, and I'll show you. If we just take 3 eggs just for the sake of it. We have varying size trays. Now if you look at this one here, it's a little tight for that egg just to touch the bottom, so we can put that one up here because this one's slightly wider and then it can move around. This whole capacity here will hold 35 eggs. It'll actually hold 40, but because of the bar that we've put here, it would mean putting eggs into this would be a little bit tight, but they would go under there. We've got a 4-inch travel distance here, which will exactly turn the egg over exactly. Now what I'll do, I'll get a pen and I'll mark, no, I need a felt pen, and I'll mark the eggs with a dot so you can see them working. And then when we switch it on, you'll see. I'll explain a little bit more about the rest first before we do that. I'm going to just lift this box out of the way. Okay, even though the fan and everything's still working on it. Quite a bit of electrics here, and I'll give you the reasons for each of them. This is the 12-volt controller for the heat-seek fan and everything else that's being run here, and this has a little temperature probe where we can set anywhere within the incubator. The next thing we have is the control circuit for the motor there. Now, because originally we wanted a half RPM motor, like I already explained, it was expensive. So what we did, we went for the 1 RPM motor. The problem we had with this was the smallest little timer plug that you can buy, the little digital timer plugs that you can buy. The smallest notation we could use on that was 1 minute, which meant the eggs would travel and travel back to their original position, which was no good to us. So what we've done, we had a little circuit built here. You can see it flashing away. There's a little circuit here, and basically it steps 12 volts up to 220 volts, but this controls our egg timer. Now it'll run through this, it will run for 30 seconds, which will allow that egg tray to travel right across here and turn the eggs halfway, and then it will switch off, and then in an hour's time it will do the same thing again. For ease of this, I'm just going to unplug this here, and I'm going to plug it in over here to show you the eggs turning without it. Okay, now if you notice now, you can see that little cam moving there. Okay, and the eggs are starting to roll. And they roll quite gently. Oh, this has got a W on this egg, which we've already used before, but I've put a dot on there as well. But as you can see now, the egg tray moves across and fills this gap. That cam now is, you can see how the cam is worked. There's a little bolt that comes down through this arm, and it just works on a little cam there. So now them eggs are exactly halfway over, and they're rolling back now. As you can see, this one didn't roll perfect, but that was because it. But if we look at this one, you'll see what I'm getting at. It shows you. There you go. That spot. Oh, there's 2 spots. So it did roll perfect. I do apologise. 2 spots on this egg, so we've obviously used this before. But as you can see, it's now more or less right back to the wall, and all 3 spots are back on top. So this will do. Repeat this. I'm going to find another 2 eggs that don't have another spot on them, because that's a bit off-putting. I think I got a spot on that one and a spot on this one. So we'll put this in now once they get to the end, and you'll see what we're getting at. Okay, so now as this cam rotates, as you can hear, there's no noise from it. You got the little noise of the fan. Okay, and as the cam rotates, it's rotating the eggs very, very gently, and you'll see the spots all come back up to the surface. So, you know, it's a very good way of turning the eggs without any issues. Again, you've got a little side view here if you wanted to see them through the side, and you can see this sort of tray moving here. But this gives you some sort of idea of the depth that you have underneath this bottom tray for the fluids and things like that. And what we will do is we'll fill up one to sort of get the temperature up to around about the humidity up to 30 or 40 degrees or something like that for most of the hatching, and then when we need to, we'll raise it up to 60 degrees for the final few days. The one thing, I'm going to switch this off now. I need to explain to you how, if I can pull that out. We obviously only incubate eggs 21 days, and on day 18 we then want to remove this tray for them to hatch, because they don't want to be turned any further after day 18. What we would do in this case, we would wait for this tray to be right up this end. We would undo this screw here, so there's a little bolt underneath, and we just put a screwdriver on top. In fact, if I can find one, which I don't think I can, no, I haven't got one in here, but maybe we'll do another video if you need to see it. We just undo this screw here, and what that allows us to do is just to tilt this whole process straight out, leaving the eggs, so you can see, you know, it just lifts up, leaving the eggs on the surface there. The whole process is just automatic, so the only time this incubator will be open within the 21 days then will be while you take this tray out on day 18, which obviously minimises the temperature issue. And with such a good controller that is keeping the eggs to within 0.2 of a degree over a 24-hour period, it's superb. What happens with it, I don't know if I can show you from here. If I put this back on here, obviously it's going to be a little cold at the moment. Okay, if you look at this now, I think you can just about see it here. It's now telling you temperature is 71 degrees. Okay, and power, this is HTR, this is the power, is at 100%. The reason for that is it needs to get this unit up to temperature now. As the unit starts reaching temperature, this power output will reduce down to maybe 70%, then 50%, then 12%. So basically all it does then is ticks over. It's got a constant supply of fresh air being moved around the around the incubator, and we can put in extra air holes, although I haven't bothered, for the simple reason being is where we've got cables and things like that entrains fresh air anyway, and it doesn't, you know, it doesn't seem to cause any issues. It works really well. So basically, guys, that's the incubator. Like I said, if you can get a half half revolution per minute motor, you would be better off, because it would save you having to get a circuit like this, and then you could just plug it into one of those normal timers that you can plug into the wall for lights and things, and you can set it to come on for 1 minute and off. The only downfall with that is you can only turn the eggs if, you know, sort of like some of them have got 10 programs, others have got 14, others got 17. I think that the best one I found, which was about £12, has got 20, but that's more than enough for eggs. I mean, you only really want to be 4 or 5 times a day, but as it happens here, we are trying to sort of mimic what would happen in sort of reality with hens moving about and stuff. So we're moving them once an hour here, and it will just work. We are going to be setting some eggs in this now over the next few days, some lavender Acara eggs and things like that, so, and a couple of exchequer leghorns. So we're going to put them in here, and once they're in, we'll show you another video, but it'll just be through this view here, just so you can see the eggs moving about and things like that. But with that timing switch, like I said, it moves one layer. Obviously where we've had it plugged in, it's moving back and forth, but it'll move one full movement, switch off for an hour, and then an hour's time it'll move back to there, so it's only moving the eggs halfway per hour. Anyway, hope you like the video. If you've got any questions, give us a shout, and we'll be more than happy to help you. Thanks.